Greetings, YouTube. I'm sure that if you're on the internet, you know who the Moms for Liberty organization is. And an organization so vile that Cthulhu himself would be disgusted by them. They're nothing but a thin veneer over your classic white nationalism, being branded to be approachable and easily swallowed by the Karens of America. Women who feel that if anyone ever does anything that maybe even hints that, white, straight Christian families have anything to feel less than special about, then they need to be eradicated and maybe even like thrown into prisons or into camps. Um, they seem to be quite comfortable with that, seeing as their spokespeople actually quoted Hitler. Yes, for real. And they're all about book banning. There was a case a while back when it was in the Pride Month. A couple of members of this went out and took out every single book that was dealing with the LGBTQ community for the age group of children, and then said they're never going to give them back, and they're accepting the fines. That way that no kids could ever have access to them. But the story broke, and the library received thousands of dollars worth of donations, as well as hundreds of books being sent to them. So it got the library more notification and notice, it got them more money, and it got them more books. So congratulations, ladies, you've now got yourself a whole bunch of books that I'm sure you're going to do nothing more with than burn, because I don't think any of the folks in this would actually, take the effort to read anything they're going to ban. I should point out that no organization that has ever banned books is looked at kindly by history. Doesn't happen. But the Moms for Liberty are just white nationalists. They are pushing a white nationalistic agenda. And again, like I said, it's a thin veneer over it so to make it more palatable by so many middle-class Americans. Lots of folks that would be considered independent politically, and even those traditional Democrats who are great lovers of the status quo. Most of the members of the Democratic Party are center-right conservatives. They are not progressive in any way, shape, or form. And I mean, Biden and Obama are both center-right conservatives by any sensible metric. Hillary Clinton considered herself a Goldwater girl back in her college days, and she didn't have to change her politics at all. The Overton window just kept moving till a Goldwater girl seemed progressive in the eyes of the GOP. But now, to get their message across to a wider audience, that's why the white nationalists are backing an organization such as Moms for Liberty. It's all about putting forth their traditional values, with that white, straight Christian men should be in charge, and that white, straight Christian women should do what they're told, but they would be one rung above all the other rabble in America. And they think of themselves as being center stage, even though they are standing on a stage with, 8 billion other players. They just like to pretend that they're not. They don't want children to actually learn history, because actual history is going to tell people the truth, which is America is founded upon the principles of white supremacy, genocide, and slavery. That is what this nation is founded upon. That is not a progressive piece of propaganda. It is not slandering in America. It is just the truth. The European invaders did not come here with open hearts and minds to this country. They came here to establish their own colonies, and they didn't care who they had to rape, murder, or enslave to achieve. And they did all of these things on an industrialized scale. And they don't want that taught in schools. Now, obviously, I wouldn't want to be using that particular unfiltered version for second graders, but high school students should know about it, and they should get the unvarnished version by then. Your junior and senior and high school students should really have a good grasp of what we have done to this continent and to the peoples upon it, and that all of us are standing on stolen ground, and that we disrespect the people that lived here and have for hundreds of years. And now we have these pasty-faced Karens out there pushing an agenda that is no different than any other form of white nationalism. Again, that little thin veneer on top to make it more palatable to the middle class and to women. So whenever you hear people talking about Moms for Liberty, remember that they're talking about white nationalists, and don't listen to their rhetoric. Don't give them the time of day, because it's not worth it. I'm sure you've heard what white nationalists have to say. It's nothing new. They've been saying the same thing for 100 plus years. So yeah, we don't need another version, another spin on the old tunes. We've heard this song, and we don't need to listen to it again. And what you need to do is make sure you get out there and vote for the folks who are progressive. Make sure you get progressive people on the school boards. Make sure that Moms for Liberty stay off of them. Because boards of education with these folks on it are going to be changed. That's going to disenfranchise everyone that isn't a white, straight Christian kid. And that's abysmal, because just lots of Americans who aren't those things. They're not white, they're not straight, they're not cis, they're not the same politics, the same religion. There's a wide swath of this nation, and it grows wider every year, who are not the kinds of people that the Moms for Liberty think should be in charge. So yeah, do what you can to shut these guys down, because they desperately need to be shut down.